Alright, hey everyone. So I was gonna wait till December to do this, and I didn't capture everything on camera. I'm gonna redo it on a different car. This was my practice method, which is on my dad's car here. They just came back from a trip, and so I had bugs and stuff on the car. And so right now I was like, let me just go ahead and clean it up and top off the coating with the new Jade Graphene Detail Coating. This is actually a spray coating. Think of this as like the Atom spray coating, and real simple in terms of the decontamination process and all that. So for the wheels, I just use Glassparency S3 silica soap. I just needed a little bit of protection on there. I'm just kind of buying time until I have more time off and more energy to do a full polish and recoat of the wheels. Then I just sprayed down the wheels with that to wipe any remaining water off, because I dressed the tires with a fresh coat of Adam's Graphene tire dressing after I cleaned them up. I used Adam's Tire and Rubber to clean the bottom rubber trim here. I'm going to dress it, kind of looking a little worse for wear. Now in terms of the decontamination process, pretty straightforward. I used CarPro Iron X. This is my, I just have a little bit left of this one. This is the new reduced odor version. People didn't like this one because it tended to dry quicker. If you want the original formula, it's the lemon scented version. So I just used this, and I use it on, the paint wasn't too dirty, so I just used it on that. It wasn't a lot of iron because I just used Meguiar's D1801 just a few weeks back, so there wasn't a lot of iron on the paint. And then I foamed the car with Glassparency S1. Really, this doesn't really foam, but in the foam gun, so I just use this, let that soak on the paint for a little bit. And then I came back and I washed it with CarPro Reset. I did not rinse off the S1 soap because I had rinsed off all the iron remover and the heavy dirt with it. And so the S1 was just kind of soaking on the paint, kind of just dwelling on there for just a while. Not too long, a couple minutes. Then I came back with CarPro Reset, washed it, just to kind of remove any superficial toppers that are on there. You know, drying aids and whatnot, like the Adam's Graphene Detail Spray, that type of product. Then I came back after the wash process and used Optimum MDR with a damp towel while the paint was still wet. Worked it into the paint, rinsed it off, and then I came back with the remaining wash in my bucket with CarPro Reset, dried off the paint, came back with the Meguiar's M122 Surface Prep. And now we're going to get to the graphene coating here. So the paint has the Jade Graphene coating on there, the Jade Graphene Pro, and you can see all the graphene oxide that sits on the bottom. And so now we're going to get to that. So I'm going to have to work in the shade here. So somewhere I can give you guys a good view. I'll go on the other side so I don't blind you with the sun. Maybe I can do the trunk here. So this coating is very straightforward to use. Just shake it because you want all that material mixed into your product. And they don't really give you directions on here. It just says wear eye protection, shake well before use, mist results. For best results, apply in shade, mist spray on the panel. Do not allow to dry. Use a clean microfiber for wet. Well, wet. I'm going to use a microfiber block, and we'll see how this goes, because look at that, the trigger's broken. So let me swap triggers if I can. Yep, both sides are broken. Well, that's just peachy. So now that my hand's all full of coating here, and it smells just like the Adam's stuff. So let me find a trigger, and I'll come back after it's spewed coating everywhere. So come on, Detail King, give me a good sprayer. I've never seen a sprayer broken like that before. So let me dig through my stash and find one. Let me just go ahead and pause it for a second. I'll just come right back to you. Okay, so I have a brand new trigger, and even this one was starting to have issues. So let me just go ahead and load the applicator here. There's a couple spritzes. And honestly, I don't know if you guys are going to see this on here. because of the color of the paint. But this goes on just like the Adams spray coating. It smells just like it. I mean, we all know that. Oh, there you go. You can actually see that I got some on the glass. I'll show you on the glass in a second here. Take your towel and just buff off any excess product. It feels slick though. So this one's gonna do the rainbow effect. Okay, so yeah, it does feel really nice. So let me show you on glass. Actually see it going on, and you can see it rainbow immediately. Ideally you shouldn't be doing this outside, but so you can actually see the rainbow here. So while that's going, I'll just coat this entire panel. And yeah, you can use it on glass, trim. I didn't get this light. So just put that down for there, and then at this point you can wipe it off, and you don't need to leave it on long. Wipes off pretty good. I will let you know that if you miss it and you don't wipe it in time, it will leave a high spot. So make sure you catch it in time. I learned that with the Adams one. I actually should have 2 towels. And this one, 4 hours before it can get wet. It's not going to rain or anything here, so it should be perfectly fine. The last couple days it hasn't been, we haven't had morning dew, so it should be perfectly fine. But it goes on real nice. That's one thing I like about the Adams coating, is it just goes on real good and real easy to use. And so this Jade one is very similar in with that regard. And if you guys have any comments or questions on this, I'll give you a walk around once I'm done, and we can kind of see how the car looks after this. But this is the yearly maintenance on here. And yeah, let me just go ahead and finish going around this car and I'm gonna call it done. Okay, so final thoughts on the application. I had to switch to my iPhone because both batteries in the GoPro died. But overall, this is a good product here. It went on real easy. This is very similar. Actually, I'm going to say this. This is the same product as the Adams spray coating, other than it doesn't have the UV tracer in it. Smells the same, all that. I mean, we know that B&B blends for both companies. But I'll give you a walk around. One thing is I used a microfiber applicator, so it got dirty because I hit the trim. Get yourself a couple towels to level out the product. But let me just give you a quick walk around of the car. And it does go on slick. It looks real good. So it definitely amped up the gloss on here. I use it on every surface. Paint, glass, even the front glass, and the plastic trim, and this thing looks fantastic. So it's a yearly refresher. Technically it's like 10 months, or actually more like 9.5 months. But good gloss, enriching the trim here, which was starting to look a little like it needed another application. Applied on this trim here as well. But overall the car looks fantastic. There's a roof. So the only thing I didn't use it on was the wheels. And here you go, look at crisp reflections. So one thing is that with this one, you're going to want to let it cure for 4 hours before it gets wet. Just like the Atom spray coating. It's not too cold at the moment, and there's no morning dew expected. So it'll be perfectly fine if it just sits out here. I was working in the sun a little bit, so that sun will kind of help it cure a bit. But you can actually see that the gloss on here was amped up. And this, you know what, the surface actually feels really good. Not crunchy or anything like that. So I don't need to clay it or anything. That's one thing to keep in mind, is if you're going to maintain your coating, a topper does help, and it will help lessen the amount of contaminants on here. But yeah, this car looks great. It does go on slick. I can't touch it because I have my gloves on. And so there you have it. I just want to give you a quick walk around of the car with the Jade Graphene Detail Coating is what they call it. This is actually a spray coating. They're claiming up to a year of durability. So we'll see. Again, you're going to be topping it with your spray detailer or whatever you use, your drying aid. And so it's going to maintain your coating for a longer period of time. And that's what I'm trying to do with this car, is at least get another year out of it. And then I'll polish it and then move on to a different coating. So that's the Impala. Hope this helps. And if you guys have any comments or questions, go ahead and post them down below. Again, thanks for watching. This product plays well. Actually, this product is made to maintain their Jade Graphene Pro. And it's also can be sold as a 1-year coating. So again, if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and post them down below. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.